Welcome to the Happiness Project, Raghu.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I know കുറച്ച് മലയാളം അറിയാമെന്നറിയാം, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ലീവ് എടുക്കുകയാണ്. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ മലയാളം അടിച്ചുവിടാൻ പോവാണ്.
I shall try.
മൈസൂർ സെ ആയി ഇങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരു പെർഫോമൻസ് എനിക്ക് നേരിട്ട് കാണാൻ പറ്റിയ ഒരു ഭാഗ്യത്തിൻ്റെ ത്രില്ലിൽ ഇരിക്കുകയാണ് ഞാൻ. ഈ ഒരു പാട്ട് മൈസൂർ സെ ആയി ഇതിൻ്റെ ഇൻസ്പിറേഷൻ എന്താണ്? ഇത് എവിടെ നിന്നാണ്?
There is no inspiration specifically of any girl in the song, which most people think it is.
Exactly,
this was the first ever song I was forced to write in Hindi.
Okay.
Because when as a young musician who wanted to record his first ever demo, I was in the studio taking help of two Bangalore-based musicians. So I had come from Mysore to record my demo in Bangalore, and these guys were helping me record. And I used to write only in English earlier. And I used to compose my songs, and I was recording these 2-3 songs that we had selected to record. And in the lunch break, I was just holding my guitar and singing this tune, and this guy who was helping me, Jeet and Bali, these two guys, like, that tune is so beautiful, why aren't we recording that tune? I said, I don't have any words to it, so write some words to it. But English words won't suit into this melody. It's so, very folky Rajasthani feel to it. So he said, so write in Hindi. So I was like, but I don't know Hindi. Give it a shot. So anyway, so all that forced learning of Hindi through Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha by my dad and Doordarshan came into handy. So with one song, I exhausted all my Hindi vocabulary and I wrote this song called Mysore Se Aayi. It's been 25 years since I wrote this song. And 96, I wrote this song, yeah.
And
is it 26 years, 25 years now, 96? Yeah, it's close to 20 years, 22 years. Yeah, so even to this day, it's the closing song of all my sets. It is still the happiest song of the band. It is still the most looked forward to song by every audience who come to our concerts. It is also the song that kind of reminds me of where I come from. So it is really my city where I come from, Mysore, which is the actual girl in this song. So whenever I sing this song, it brings back all the memories of me growing up in Mysore.
Raghu എത്തിയിരിക്കുന്ന പോയിന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് പ്രോബബ്ലി ഹൺഡ്രഡ്സ് ഓഫ് മ്യൂസിഷ്യൻസ്, തൗസൻഡ്സ് ഓഫ് മ്യൂസിഷ്യൻസിൻ്റെ ഡ്രീമാണ്. ഗ്ലാസ്റ്റംബറി പോലത്തെ ഒരു ഒക്കേഷനിൽ ഒരു ഫെസ്റ്റിവലിൽ പോയി പെർഫോം ചെയ്യുക, മറ്റേ ജൂസ് ഹോളൻഡ് ആ ഷോയിൽ പെർഫോം ചെയ്യുക. ഇതൊക്കെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മുടെ കേരളത്തിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ത്യയിൽ തന്നെ പെർഫോം ചെയ്യുന്ന മ്യൂസിഷ്യൻസിൻ്റെ വലിയ വലിയ സ്വപ്നങ്ങളാണ്. ഹൗ ഡു യു സീ ദാറ്റ്?
I would say it's absolutely okay if you don't perform all these places. If you're happy with what you have and if you're happy with your people you love. If you have love, I think anything else is absolutely trivial. Yes, it's got great bragging rights at the most. People who say, I did that, I got this degree, I studied in Harvard, I have earned this much money, I have this bungalow, this site. I mean, I might sound like an 80-year-old, but I've seen things so early on in lives that, and suffered and become wiser because of that. That it doesn't really matter anymore.
All you need is love, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when people come and say nice things about you, and people say you made me get over, like this happened in Malaysia. There's this really, she was about mid-50s, I think. Okay. She comes and says, you healed me what others couldn't do to me for years. I've been trying to fight this. My husband passed away a few years ago and I've been in depression ever since. But yesterday, just the messages you passed on through your songs completely made me believe that I should just live with the memories that I have of him, which are happy, rather than living with one memory of him not being here. So for me now, the very purpose of my band is just that, to make people happy and then help them get over their troubles, even if it means for those 2 hours. And I've repeated this philosophy again and again in several interviews, and it is really that I've finally found a purpose for what I'm doing now. It is not about awards, it is not about going on playing at Glastonbury. Yes, I would love to go and play for Glastonbury again, but at Glastonbury, if I can make those 1.5 lakh people who are accumulated there forget their worries and troubles and broken hearts and broken minds for 2 hours. And if they of course have to go back to their problems and troubles again. But if they can see the same troubles and problems in a positive light and say, hey, this is not that big a deal, I can deal with this. If I can achieve even 10% of that crowd turning into positivity like that, I think my mission is accomplished. Now, the whole mission is only to do that.
How did your relationship change? ഒരു പോയിന്റിൽ എത്തിയിട്ട് ബ്രേക്ക് ഡൗൺ ആയിട്ടുണ്ട്, and then you had to rework on that relationship again with your father.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you went through with
I have not reworked with my dad because he passed away. That's why the regret stays on, you know. And because as young kids, I don't think we understand parents completely because we're so self-obsessed when we're young and we just want to do what we want to do and what we want to achieve and whatever ambitions we have in our head and aspirations and we think are the right aspirations for us most of the times. And we chase those dreams and become so self-centered that we ignore or sometimes even probably blame parents for not having achieved what you were thinking of achieving. I think somewhere I carry that regret because my father, so this is the story. So I lost my mom when I was 5.5. So
5.5?
Yeah. And father kind of lost his own will to live and fight back because of my mom's death. And then a miracle happened. Somebody saw us the way we were and she came into our life and married my dad and adopted 2 kids. And she, you know, was responsible for both me and my younger brother to be whatever we are today. And at the same time, she nursed my dad back to health and, you know,
wow.
And then kind of he became a dad again. But he had his anger all the time at the forefront. So we were almost always scared of my dad.
At the defense side, no?
Yeah, it could be. It could be his anger with something else. But as kids, we didn't understand what is going on, you know. I just broke my pencil. Why do you want to hit me? Is the first question. Or for that matter, there was this one scene which I remember very vividly, which kind of is very dangerous to even speak about. But it is, I mean, now I'm open about it. I speak about it because I'm comfortable with it anymore now. I used to get traumatized with this situation where I was studying for an examination next morning, which I had. And it was almost like 10:30 or 11 in the night. And my dad, he was winding the alarm clock for me to wake up the next morning to study again before we go to the exam. And he's winding right next to me and I'm studying. And I just looked back and said, did you have to do this here? Can't you see I'm studying? So my dad, he's famous for his left hand. So he came on my head. Is that the way to speak to elders? So I don't know where the rage within me came out from. I sprung out of my seat and I hit my dad back. And I hit till I could not hit him anymore. He just collapsed and he was writhing in pain for whatever blows I gave him. And it took my mother to come in between to find out what's happening and stop me from whatever. And after that, my dad never ever touched me. He never hit me or anything like that.
How old were you then?
I was 16.
Okay.
And then a year later, he passed away. So I didn't have a chance to say whatever, sorry or whatever it is. But I carried that guilt for many, many years till I finally found a counselor to deal with it and all the regret that I carried within me. You know, it was a huge burden on me that I never bridged myself to my dad because I am now in a situation where I can understand where his anger, pain, sorrow came from and why he just didn't fight back. And all the time I was angry that he was not fighting back as a kid. But now I see that that was the best he could do. The fact that I stood first in a 5th standard or something and I was expecting a BSSLR cycle, but he got me a honey cake instead. Was a point of absolute anger. So much so that I ran away from home for 2 days and stayed with my cousin's sister and didn't go home at all. And at that time was the anger, and I carried that anger again till whatever length of time I carried it with me, because I just didn't understand. He promised that he will buy me a cycle, but instead he gave me a honey cake. But only now I realize, but that was his economic status then, and that's the best he could do. But the fact that he thought of at least giving me a honey cake didn't compensate for the aspiration that I carried, that I will have a BSSLR cycle at age when I'm studying 5th standard. For a school that was walkable distance of a kilometer, I didn't really need a cycle.
ഇതിങ്ങനെ മനസ്സിലേറ്റി കൊണ്ട് നടക്കാന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ it's a huge burden. I don't know how you lived with it.
I don't know myself, but once it's off, now I can live with it. I have made peace with my dad that way, and finally love my dad. And now I only remember the nicer things that he's done instead of remembering only the angry part of my dad, which was the case for me till I was 40. I'm 43 now, and I'm hitting 44 this November. So only since last 3 years I've been able to accept my dad. Till then I was fighting it all the time, and it showed in every other relationship that I have had in my life. So I think I would advise all the young boys and girls to just accept your parents the way they are. They are only wanting to do the best for you guys, and they're not against you, or it's not that they don't understand also. Probably they are feeling the pain that they can't provide what you want more than the pain that you're feeling that they are not providing for you. You know, I think as kids we don't get to understand that side.
രഘുവിൻ്റെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഒരു പോയിന്റിൽ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ you are an established artist. Your band is doing exceedingly well. പലയിടത്തും പെർഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നു, എത്രയോ കൺട്രീസിൽ പോയി പെർഫോം ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നു. ആസ് എൻ ആർട്ടിസ്റ്റ് യു റെസ്പെക്റ്റഡ് നോൺ. അച്ഛൻ ഇപ്പം ഇങ്ങനെ പ്രതികരിച്ചേനെ. ഹാവ് യു എവർ ഇമാജിൻ or wondered how he would have been?
It's unthinkable, but at the same time I know he's somewhere watching me, and he's super proud about it. There is no way he wouldn't have been proud about it. Like there is this one more incident I would like to share with my dad, which now I remember very fondly. So there is this college show which has asked me to come and perform. I was just a guitarist, just like singing some really bad songs I used to write earlier. So some local college has called me. So it's just me and another friend of mine who's also a guitarist, 2 of us going on stage and jamming. So I wear my guitar with like nice clothes and take my guitar, and I'm on my way out of my house, and my father is reading the newspaper, and I said, you know, I'm performing here, do you want to come and see the show? And he lowers his paper and he says, who will want to come and see that stupid music show of yours? And his paper goes up again, okay? And I said, okay, you know, same. I'm used to this. So I go to the show and I play, and I'm like, you know, it's a massive success with all the young girls and boys.
Young girls underline.
Of course, underline. Highlight with yellow fluorescent pen. And then backstage, I'm meeting my friends, and they're like, you know, it was very nice, blah, blah. And one friend says, hey, I saw your dad. He was standing in the corner and watching the show. I said, it can't be my dad for sure. He's like, no, it was your dad. I know your dad. I've seen him. He was standing like this, just the way he stands with his arms crossed, and he's watching in the corner. I couldn't believe it. And when I go back home, he's sitting in the same position, hiding behind his paper. I said, did you come to the show? Didn't I tell you I wouldn't have come for the show? And he puts his paper back.
But did you notice that on his face? That
Nothing.
He was lying?
He just didn't give away anything.
But he was there.
But he was there for sure. And he was very proud, I knew.
പക്ഷെ അതിൻ്റെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഈ മൈക്രോബയോളജിയും ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു മ്യൂസിക്കിനോട് ഇത്ര അടുപ്പം ഡാൻസ് പഠിച്ചാണെന്നറിയാം. ഭരതനാട്യം ഡാൻസർ രഘു, ഐ മീൻ ഇറ്റ്സ് അൺബിലീവബിൾ. ഐ കാൻ't imagine you as a Bharatnatyam dancer.
Yeah, just because of my figure now. now I'm a professional belly dancer.
I can't imagine you as that too. പക്ഷേ ഭരതനാട്യത്തിൽ നിന്ന് മ്യൂസിക്കിലേക്ക് പോകുന്ന ആ ഒരു ജേർണി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, ആ ഒരു പോയിന്റ് വേ യു സ്വിച്ച് ടു മ്യൂസിക്. ആരോ ഫ്രണ്ട് ബെറ്റ് ഇട്ട കാര്യമാണ്. എന്തൊരു വഴിത്തിരിവാണിതല്ലേ. ഐ മീൻ ഹൗ കൻ യു ഈവൻ ഇമാജിൻ ദാറ്റ് ടേക്കിംഗ് ദാറ്റ് ഗിറ്റാർ ദാറ്റ് ഡേ, because Bharatnatyam is an effeminate thingy and you have to go for something more masculine. You pick up the guitar and you become this musician.
Yeah.
I mean, life is so unpredictable, right?
it's unpredictable, but at the same time, I personally now have come to believe that it's all written for me. There is no, I'm a Destiny's child, and Destiny is already there for me, and I just have to follow the path. Time and time again, the more I resist my destiny, it has put me down on my knees and said, no dude, this is the way to go. Yeah, absolutely. Like right from childhood, like I said, Amma passing away, Dad going crazy about it, and then I'm finding this mother of all mothers who's just brilliantly beautiful as a person, and so positively she brought us up, and till today she's the backbone of everything that I and my brother do. In fact, she was 64 and she did senior exams in vocal just to prove a point that she's my mother now.
Really?
Yeah. And later she did diploma masters in computer applications and then diploma masters in financial management from Anna University. So my mother is a rock star actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So she's an epitome of positiveness and complete strength and stoic. I have not seen another lady like that, and I don't want to see her because I think she's just like a phenomenal force of absolute confidence that she can live on her. Till today, she's not taken a single rupee from me.
Tell me, you've written a song for your mother.
Oh yes.
Our part idana.
So again, something that I regretted, but I had the time enough to say sorry. Unlike my dad, I didn't have an opportunity to tell sorry to him. My mother, at least I have an opportunity. So this was in 2012 and we had performed probably at every beautiful festival in the UK. We did about 28 concerts across 45 days, and we played all major festivals, Glastonbury.
Yeah, Glastonbury.
You aspire for it and you have performed for it, that kind of a year. And we were on BBC London.
You're on Rolling Stone cover.
Rolling Stone cover also. And Songlines magazine, which is the biggest world music magazine in the UK, they had featured me on it. And our album had reached #1 on UK World Music Charts. So a lot of beautiful things within a span of 6 months. And I was sitting in the airport waiting for my flight, and I'm writing down the names of all the people who have walked into my life and helped me to get there. You know, and about 33, 34 names I've listed down, and then it hit me that I've not mentioned Amma at all in that entire list. I just couldn't believe that I had ignored her till the 34th person. And I broke down within myself, and I immediately called Amma and said, thank you, and I've done so well this year. And if you had not entered our lives back then and done whatever you have done, we wouldn't have been there. And Mom didn't speak anything. I'm sure she was choking up somewhere there. But that was the moment of realization for me that I have never ever thanked her. And I've been just on this juggernaut, self-obsessed journey to just achieve, but not asked her if she was okay or visited her as often as I should have as a son, or even asked her basically if she's eaten dinner or lunch or whatever, which we sons never do, unfortunately. So
can you
yeah, so I got Madan Karki, son of Vairumuthu, to write this song for me. I explained to him this situation, saying this is where the song is coming from, and I want you to write words for this melody. And I wrote the entire gist of whatever I wanted to say in English, and he put these words beautifully in it. Again, another language that I never learned, but it is my mother's language, so I thought it was most appropriate.
Tamil?
Yeah, Tamil. Amma is a Tamilian. I am a Tamilian Iyengar, but I don't speak Tamil because I grew up in Mysore, always speaking in Kannada. This is simply called Amma. Oh, marbodu enai alli chumandayamma. Oh, pasathai paalaga uirutti valarthayamma. En kannil siripodi un vaalkai tholaithay, naan indru maramanen நீதானே விதைத்தாயம்மா. ஓ மார்போடு என்னை அள்ளி சுமந்தாயம்மா. பாசத்தை பாலாக உயிரூட்டி வளர்த்தாயம்மா. உலகில் உலகில் உறவு பல இருக்கும், துவழும் மனமோ உனைதான் நினைக்கும், துவழும் மனமோ உனைதான் நினைக்கும். தொலைவில் இருந்தும் எனக்காய் நீ துடித்தாய், பகலும் இரவும் என்னைத்தாய் நினைத்தாய். விழும்போதெல்லாம் என்னை தாங்கிக் கொள்வாய், வான் மீது மீண்டும் என்னை ஏற்றி செல்வாய். மேலேறி பறந்தேனே உன்னாலே, நான் உன்னை மறந்தேனே, புகழ் தேடி பறந்தோடி போனேனம்மா. ஓ மார்போடு என்னை அள்ளி சுமந்தாயம்மா. ஓ பாசத்தை பாலா